Hi everyone, welcome to our asynchronous library instruction session. Today, we're going to explore how to look at existing research on a topic and identify trends or patterns in the research that you can use to revise, refocus, or in some cases, narrow your research topic. As you learn more about your general research topic, there are going to be some sort of subtopics within that larger topic that you're going to want to kind of zoom in on. This is an important part of the research process because for a paper this length, you don't have the time or space to cover the entirety of a topic. You'll have to narrow your focus to certain subfields within a topic so that you can appropriately cover that topic in your paper. As far as learning goals for today go, by the end of this session, you should be able to identify research trends and patterns, to situate yourself within a scholarly conversation, and to edit existing keywords and search terms to reflect a revised research topic. At the end of this presentation, I'm also going to go over what is expected for the forum discussion post that you'll be writing after this instruction session. In this presentation, I will be demonstrating searches using the database Education Research Complete. If you need a refresher on how to find specific databases on the library website or on searching via Discover Eagle versus a specific database, you're welcome to email the library at library@spalding.edu or to check out the previous asynchronous presentation for this course. So, how do we refocus or revise our research? I'm going to start with this sample research topic, the same as last time. How has COVID-19 affected K through 12 education in the US? And again, I'm going to search for this particular research question in Education Research Complete, which is an education-specific database. So, using the techniques discussed in our previous asynchronous session, I'm going to break my question up into keywords with COVID-19 and its alternate terms in one box, K through 12 in one box, and education in one box. I'm going to use the full text and peer review limiters to limit my results to scholarly sources that I can access immediately without using interlibrary loan. Then, after I hit search, I'm going to use that refine results column on the left-hand side of the screen to add in a geography filter for United States. So I'll just scroll down, hit United States. So once I do that, I will have a list of sources on my topic. And when I'm sorting through results like this, I'd like to adopt an academic writing method from Gerald Graff and Kathy Birkenstein called They Say, I Say. So the idea is that when you're situating yourself within a larger scholarly conversation, you figure out what they, the researchers in the field, are already saying, and then you decide how best you can join or add to that conversation. So it's all about attaching yourself to an already existing scholarly conversation that you've identified. So, what are they saying about COVID-19 and K through 12 education? So, here's my list of results based on my preliminary starter search. So, I don't necessarily want to read through every single article here, so I'm going to skim the titles and abstracts to get some ideas about what these researchers are discussing, and I'm going to compile a list or a concept map. To take notes on these articles, I'll keep track of details and patterns that I'm noticing. So, for example, in this first abstract or summary, the researchers are looking specifically at the issues of student engagement and personal connection or community in teaching and education. And they're also using terms like distance education or online education. So these would be things that I would take note of on my list. They are talking about distance learning, so I'm taking note of new terms, student engagement, community, and connection. The other two articles I can see on this page are also both talking about the same kinds of trends. So they're talking about issues relating to online learning and access, equity, and academic performance. Both of them also talk about, again, we've got equity issues, we've got technology is kind of coming into play with both of these as well, with the focus on the digital. So I'm going to add those into my list as well. They are talking about online learning or distance learning or remote learning. These are some terms that popped up. They're talking about student engagement. They're talking about community and connection. They're talking about academic performance, accessibility issues relating to technology and online learning. And then some of them are talking about various specific technologies or digital tools. So I like to physically map out this list of topics because it gives me a better visual. So here's a concept map of what they are saying. So my next step is, what do I want to say? So personally, I'm a big believer in the idea that you should always research what you are most interested in, not what you think will be easiest. So I ask myself, why am I interested in this topic? I'm interested in this topic because as a librarian, I do a lot of asynchronous online sessions, kind of like this one, and I'm always looking for ways to engage with students online. I'm interested in how to use technology to support students in their academics and how to use technology to make things more accessible. So, I'm going to use my personal interest combined with a concept researchers in the field are already discussing, and I'm going to use that to narrow my topic. So, I'm going to go back to this concept map I have, and I just like to go through and circle some different subtopics that I can relate and turn into my new research question. So, there are a couple ways that I could potentially join this conversation. I could join this conversation by expanding on academic performance and technology. I could also look into how technology impacts accessibility issues in learning. Or I could check out the connections between student engagement and online learning. Personally, the conversation about student engagement is most interesting to me, so I'm going to choose that as my entrance point into this conversation. So now I'm going to revise my research question. I want to connect these new terms I'm working with an open-ended question word like how, what, or why that's going to kind of set me up to explore a relationship or connection between these topics. So I settled on the revised question, since the advent of COVID-19, how have online learning environments affected K through 12 student engagement? My next step is to return to my original search and education research complete and refine my search terms to reflect this new narrowed focus that I've developed. So I started with COVID, K through 12, and education with a US geography filter, but now I have different terms. I'm going to keep COVID and keep K through 12, but I'm also going to add in some additional keywords as well. So I'm going to add in online learning as a keyword. I'm going to add in student engagement as a keyword as well. And you'll notice again that I'm using some alternate kind of synonyms in each box as well with the or connecting those words. Your library tutorials talk more in depth about the and the or features that expand and narrow searches. And those are features that I'm using here to add in more keywords and include alternate terms. So I'm also going to add in that geography filter to limit me to just the United States. And then I'm going to search. So you can see on the left-hand side that that column is listing the filters I have. I have it limited to full text, peer-reviewed, and past 10 years, and also United States and English language. And then I've also updated those search terms. So you'll notice I'm getting a lot fewer results. And that's because, again, I've kind of like zoomed in on one particular topic. So if I want to find more sources on this new narrow topic, because I do only have 7 right now, I can also check out the references or works cited pages of any of these articles to see if I can find related articles this way. I can also alter my keywords a bit or remove different filters if I want to find more sources. And a quick note on revising your keywords. In this case, adding keywords was what I needed to do to find relevant information, but sometimes you may have to replace or remove keywords as well. There are a lot of different ways that you can edit your search terms to reflect your new refocused topic. These are just some strategies that I use. I really like this method of starting broad and getting narrower based on what there's existing research on, because I think it helps you avoid the scenario of starting with a hyper-specific research topic that there's little to no research on. So you're starting more with a bigger topic and then seeing what other people are saying, seeing what you're interested in, and kind of zooming in or narrowing that way. So now that we've gone through this process together, I'm going to have all of you do this on your own as a research community. So there will be a discussion forum on Canvas where you can complete this discussion-based assignment. But the assignment is, in the database Academic Search Complete, perform an advanced search using keywords on a topic of your choosing using the peer-reviewed limiter. In your discussion post, write first what your chosen research topic was, just so we know what you're talking about. And then second, write some trends that you noticed in the research sources you found. So at least 2 trends or 2 things that you noticed. 3, I want you to think of at least 2 potential ways that you could narrow or expand your topic based on those trends. And then the fourth thing you're going to do is you're going to identify which sources you consider to be most relevant to your topic and why you chose those sources. And then I also want you to comment on 2 of your classmates' posts. Your comments could be things that you did similarly to or different from your classmates. They could be things that your classmates did in their searches that surprised you. Maybe you guys have a similar topic and you really like the research route they took. You could also just comment on your classmates' topic and potential ways to narrow or expand it. If you have any research-related questions for this class or another class, you are welcome to check out the course guide for this class using the QR code on this slide or to email the library at library@spalding.edu. Thanks so much for listening to this presentation and good luck with your research.